getting his, collar and kind of a lapels loose. So whatever he's trying to fight to do, if he's trying to get out or whatever, I want to use more of my legs and start working some of this stuff out, okay? So we're gonna loosen up. It's kind of setting up the cross collar choke, but without him knowing really what we're doing, we're just kind of, loosening up. And the reason I'm doing that is because it's hard to get both hands in when all this is super tight and it's tucked in, it's nice and neat, or it's pinched in between us. Whenever I start looking for that choke here in a bit and all that super tight, it's gonna be hard to do. So the first thing I'm doing is using my legs and pulling this out, and it's not threatening to him. He's focused on trying to get out of the guard right now, so he's not even worried about too much of this. I'm just trying to loosen up. So now we're gonna go for it one side. We're gonna think about, we've looked at it before, like the ones that's been here, but we're gonna look at like some more details of a different setup. So as I go for that one side, we're gonna think about it kind of like throwing a punch, or we'd have the shoulder rotation to it. So if I'm just shooting in, I'm flat on my back, I'm gonna be able to reach some, and I'm not gonna reach deep enough from here, but all good attacks are gonna be kind of from an angle. So I'm gonna think about like throwing it like a punch, okay? So I'm gonna have my shoulder and all into it, and I'm gonna get it as deep as I can like this, and I'm getting all that extra reach from rotating my shoulder. And what's different about it, kind of a little bit what we did before, is instead of getting my cross collar right here and then start like pulling and getting this side tight and working on getting the other grip, I shot my reach in, and I'm using this extension right here to keep this side loose, because if I start pulling now and tighten it up, it might be hard to get in on this side, because if I'm pulling this tight, it's already like getting tighter on this side to get my arm in here and get the grip. So I rotate my shoulder, and I'm gonna shoot it deep where I can kind of push on him, and that's gonna keep this even looser, because it's just freeing up all that extra space right there. So, and now I'm gonna go under, not over the top, but I'm pushing with this shoulder and kind of setting up how loose this is, and then I'm gonna rotate the opposite way. So whenever I'm kind of getting where I got, the opening right here, I'm gonna shoot this way, and now that I'm rotating this shoulder forward, I'm pulling this one down. So it's getting pretty deep already. And I'm trying to get this hand as deep around the back of his neck as I can, 4 fingers in, thumb out. And after I make this grip, then it's already super tight. Like he screwed up by letting me get this grip in, so he probably ain't going nowhere already at this point. And we'll look at finishing just by simply, after I got the grips in as deep as I can get them, I'm gonna have the grips and roll like the back of my hands in like this, and roll them up in the carotid, and I'm gonna pull him down into my chest, and I'm gonna do a crunch. So that's why we do those sit-ups for a drill, so I'm throwing my shoulder forward like a punch, boom, holding the collar out. I'm not already pulling this down, so I'm gonna tighten it up the other side. So I'm pushing out, and I'm looking for the setup, and then I'm shooting this shoulder forward and rolling this one down. And after you got that, you're in pretty good shape. So then whenever I finish, I'm gonna pull down to my chest, and I'm gonna crunch as I roll my hands up. Yeah, boom, so it's pretty fast.